Another anonymous sponsor who sponsored on behalf of my good friend. His name is Avram Chaim Ben Yocheved, who passed away. Those of you who want to dedicate this next class to whoever, please let me know. We'll make it happen. Today's topic is thank God. I know you guys saw me on Facebook and Instagram, and I was waving my cast. I'm going to tell you what happened. Or I'm not going to tell you what happened. At least I'm going to have to beat around the bush. If you guys need some space, there's many chairs over here, so come by. So, truthfully, the reason I made this class thank God is because I'm not thankful enough. I'm not thankful for my health. I'm not thankful that I have a business. I'm not thankful that I'm married, I have kids. And let's just say I lost my cool, because I'm only human. Don't think because somebody keeps Shabbat or he's religious, he walks around with curls, he's a great person. You can fool a lot of people, but you can't fool God. So this happened to me, why? Because I was lacking a little faith in God. Straight up. Before I continue the class, I want to say thank you for the girls that came here today. We have a very mixed crowd, and I do this on purpose. Why? So people can meet each other in the future. The diversity over here, it kind of wows me every time, because the first time we came, we had a very young crowd. Like I said, this young crowd is not really young. I don't consider them young, because if they're grown enough to come here and hear it from me, who am I? I'm no better than you. I'm not that much older than you. I don't make enough money to tell you what to do. I'm not an inspiration. So I respect you guys for coming. Today's class is very diverse, guys. From 40 years old to 30 years old to 20 years old to young men and young women who visit Hashem when they get married and have kids. I appreciate you guys for coming. So back to the topic of thank God. The past couple of weeks has been kind of crazy for me. To be honest with you, everybody goes through trials and tribulations. You know what the best part is about being all the way on the floor when you're down? The only way you can go is up. You can't go any lower. So you're already down, so now you can shoot up. So I was sitting at home and I was thinking to myself, and then I got into this little mishap, and this happened, and I came to the hospital. I'm like, yo, God, why did you do this? I'm a barber. How am I going to pay my bills? How am I going to feed my kids? God has different plans. I have a voice. I didn't know this many people came to hear it, so I know it's going to work, and I'm happy. Thank you, Mom. Give a round of applause for my mom, please, and my sister. They always support me, you know, my little brother Ellie, who's Italian, and all you guys. So this class topic is thank God. A lot of people say, God, do me a favor. You never listen to me. I pray, I do everything you say, I keep Shabbat. Help me, I want to win the lottery, I'm not making money. You know what God says? I'll let you win the lottery. Can you please go buy a ticket? People want things to happen to them like this, like somebody owes you something. Nobody owes you nothing. You should say thank you every single day. You know what it is? I see a lot of kids, they're upset. My parents don't let me do anything. My wife, my husband's like my kids. There's many people out there who don't have parents, to live in an orphanage. They would die to have your parents. The ones that scream at you, give you money, and they always bother you until you get married, or what are you doing? Are you smoking? Who are you hanging out with? People would die to have your parents. People always complain that, yo, listen, I have no life, I have no parnasa. I'm not making money, I can't find myself. I'll tell you one thing. I have this one guy who I really love and I respect so much. His name is Rabbi Moshe. Rabbi Moshe Kadosh. Whoever knows him. I'm sure you guys know him. He makes a movement in J-Way. He does a really good job. He deals with people who are the worst of the worst. And he brings the best out of them. You know what he told me? He said, Avi, you want Hashem to hear you? Cry to him. Pray. If you pray hard enough, he's going to listen to you 100%. And I'll tell you, I was a witness of that this couple of weeks. I never prayed. I used to pray. I told this last week and the week before. I used to pray like I'm doing somebody a favor. You're not doing nobody a favor. You're doing yourself a favor. And I prayed and I cried. I'm not ashamed to cry. I cry all the time, to be very honest with you. I was very aggressive as a kid. A lot of people know me. I don't mind to cry. I'm very sensitive. I'm what they call a gentle giant. You know, dogs, you can pet them. They also have teeth. But I'll tell you one thing. You know why this happened to me? Because HaKadosh Baruch Hu doesn't like to be next to a person who's angry. It's a turn-off for God. If you're angry, he doesn't like that. Hashem can't be in a place where a person's angry. If you're angry, you don't believe in God. Isaac, thank you so much for coming. Ben Sion. Give a round of applause for my brother Isaac, please. That's my man right there. I love you, bro. Everybody gets an announcement over here, one by one. So, as you all know, this week's segment, or at least the chapter that we're in, is Parshat Shmot. And now it's Vayera. You know, the stuff that went on in this parsha, I don't want to really give you guys too much Torah because I prefer this to be a motivational class. A lot of people may not understand what I'm talking about. But we have three forefathers. And they had 12 tribes. As you can see, they're around the board over here. Now, Yosef, he saved all of Egypt. All of Egypt he saved. And then Yaakov came to Egypt. And there was a famine. They had no food in all of Egypt. And now time came that the Shvatim, the 12 tribes died. Jacob died. And guess what? They said that the Jewish people were giving birth 6 babies at a time. 6 children at a time. So what happened? The Egyptians saw this. They said, Pharaoh, listen, these people are getting big. They're becoming the majority. Soon, they're going to take over if we're not going to do something. But you know what Pharaoh said? He goes, what are you, crazy? These people saved our land. There was a hunger. There was a famine. If it wasn't for the Yosef and these Jewish people, we'd be played out. We'd have no food. We'd have starved to death. Do you want me to forget about the Jews and then make them slaves? He says, listen to me. This is common sense of what happened. He says, listen, if you don't do it, we're going to remove you from being the Pharaoh. So everybody had to get with the program. I'm not the ones that like to push the anti-Semitism card, but let me tell you something exists. It's baseless hatred. In Hebrew we call it sinat chinam. So what happened is, we put ourselves in the predicament. The Jewish people put themselves in that predicament. You know why? Because they trusted a ruler like that, a crooked person like that. Because no matter how much you do, people are never going to appreciate it. If you want to live happily, do without the intent of receiving. Why are people upset all the time? It's like, yo, I always take care of this guy, I always take care of this girl, I always help her out, I always help him out. You know why you're upset? Because you expected something in return. Next time, do something and be like, yo, I'm doing this because you're my brother, you're my sister, I love you, this is for you. I don't need nothing back. You need a loan? You need some money? Here's money. I don't need nothing back from you. You crazy? I hope you're successful. God bless you. You need to borrow my makeup? You need to borrow my eyeliner? Here, take it. You can have this. You don't have to give it back to me. I have so many things to say. You know, truthfully, I didn't prep for this class. Why? Because a lot of my mind, a lot of my soul, I wanted to speak it. But I gotta tell you, I've never prayed so hard in my life this week, and I saw it work. I watched a few classes with this wonderful speaker. His name is Gedalia Fenster. He really brings out the best of me. If I could tell you one thing, it's pray to Hashem from the bottom of your heart. Just think about it. It's like you're talking to your parents. You're saying, Pops, please help me. Mom, please help me. You think they're not going to help you? Go to your parents right now. Cry in their face. Cry. Beg them. Cry. Pray to them. I promise you they'll never say no to you. Same concept with God. What do you think? God is a cutthroat killer? What do you think? He wants to see you guys be miserable? He wants to see you girls be miserable? That's not how it works. HaKadosh Baruch Hu, God is waiting for us to cry out to Him. He's waiting. I'll tell you, we live in a world, there's 7 billion people in this world. You know how many Jewish people are in this world? About 14 to 20 million. You're not even a fraction. You're like sand at the beach, a piece of sand. That's what you are. But you guys make the most noise. Every time I turn on the news, there's something about Israel. All the news on 108 Street, there's always something. We're always somewhere, especially Bahrain people. I'm proud to be Bahrain. I thank God. The class is called Thank God. I thank God that I'm Bahrain. Now, as we know, this class is a jam session, so when I get into my feelings like I've been this past couple of weeks, I like to sing a song if you guys allow me to, all right? This is a song that I wrote a long time ago. I enjoy singing it. And I usually give you a lot of Hebrew, but this time I'm going to give you some hip-hop. I think you guys want to hear that. Why are we in the light? Do we know what's right? We all shine in the light. Why are we in the light? Do we fight to survive? I don't know, no. With your permission, you know the world got me thinking. Can you please pay attention? Cause in the Bible it was written, we're on a mission in this world that we live in, where our souls are in prison and full of fake politicians. Yeah. Why are we in this life? Do we know what's right? See, I'm a young Jewish soul trying to fight for survival. Living up in these times, making a person suicidal. Wish that I knew how to change the people from the blind truth. Hard to stay focused while constantly being lied to. Easy to succeed when someone's standing beside you, but it gets a little harder when evil living inside you. I tried to change my life, I nearly almost died too. Yeah, we're never compared to all of the terror going viral. You must have forgotten that nobody really be giving a care about you. We live in a world where everybody is at war around you. We're bound to find the greater things in life. Be happy and find a wife, have babies and do what's right. Listen, I shouldn't be talking about the things I could have did, cause now I have to pray and find a place to raise my kids. My mother done taught me well, that's why I live the way I live. Keep the holy Sabbath, I'm guaranteed to forgive.
Why are we in this life? Do we know wrong from right? We all shining light, yeah. Why are we in this life? Do we fight to survive? Oh no. We're always stressing, always working, never resting. This life truly is a blessing. It's the God we're expressing, never that as we believe. Do you know what it means to finally be free? Lord, no. Shema Yisrael, I'm gonna die again. No, I'm gonna die again. Yeah, Shema Yisrael. Why are we in this life? Do we know wrong from right? We all shine in the light. Why are we in this life? Do we fight to survive?
I appreciate you. Thank you so much. You guys making my day right now, you know? So listen, I'm not going to change this song. I'm going to let this song ride. I'm going to speak. And I'm going to sing to you because this is a song, basically what I do. A lot of people that know me, I let the music rock and we just go freestyle. Let's put some wisdom behind it, alright? My question is to you, is today going to be like tomorrow? Or are you going to do something different? You know, we come to this class, I don't want people to just leave like, oh, it's a great class, you know, the guy has a good voice, it's fun. No. Take something upon yourself. In the morning you wake up, listen, I'm going to start acting nicely to this person. I'm going to forgive this person. I'm going to pray to God in the morning. I'm going to put on the phone. I'm going to give tzedakah. We're not here forever. If you're not happy with yourself, do yourself a favor. Take a trip to the cemetery, and if you're not happy there, let me know how you feel. People would die to have what you have. People would die to just be here. We take so many things for granted, especially myself. I want you to know, I hope I say this every class, I'm not lecturing you, I'm talking to myself. I always talk to myself. I shouldn't be telling you what to do in your life. Who am I? I'm nobody here. But like I said to you guys, boys, girls, anybody, you guys need my help, I'm a phone call away. Sometimes people ask me, like, yo, you're too involved in the community, you don't have time for yourself. I'll be honest with you, I respect everybody and I love them so much that it's like, if somebody comes to you with a problem, it's like, how are you going to not listen to this person? How are you not going to listen to this girl? You're not going to feel her? They say that all Jewish people share a soul. I feel it. I wanted to bring up a topic called forgiveness. You know, they say men, they forgive very easily. You can get into a fight with your friend right away, 5 seconds later, you're like, hey man, I love you. Give him a handshake and it's over. Girls, they never forgive each other. Never forgive. They're like, do you remember that one time 15 years ago? Like, it's 15 years ago. What happened to you? And it's true. It's very true. Forgiveness is very important. Why? You know how many times on a day-to-day basis we sin? We do something wrong? We lie, we cheat, we steal, we're dishonest? Imagine God was judging us the way you judge your friend. Can you imagine that for a second? If God held a microscope and everything you did wrong, He would punish you for it? Hashem is very merciful. So if he's merciful, don't you think we should be? You know, I look at you guys and I'm like, I'm so thankful that I have people that actually have a little respect and love for me to come and support this class. Especially this Tevet that's walking in. Give a round of applause for my friend Avi. He's a real friend. He's a real friend. That I can tell you for sure. He's a real friend. I say this every class. And I'm going to say it again and again and again. Why? Because you need to live by this quote. Be happy with what you have. Be happy with your surroundings. You know, about 6 years ago when I got married, I wasn't really religious. I can say I was the farthest thing from religious. I went to yeshiva. I went to public school too. But I felt like I always had to prove a point to somebody. They had to see me. If I'm playing sports, they had to see it's me playing. If somebody's talking, I want to make sure I want to be over there talking. If there's a fight, I want to be the first person to initiate. Can I tell you what the title for that person is? Moron. Moron. Straight up. You have to be humble. Be humble. You make money, be humble. You're a beautiful girl, be humble. Be honest. You're not fooling nobody. Da lifnei mi ata omed. Know before whom you are standing. You know, today, you can fool cameras. You can't fool Hashem. You know, at one point I used to believe that the tooth fairy existed. So what I did, my teeth were falling out. I took out my tooth, and then I bought fake teeth from a machine, and I put it under my pillow. And I thought in the morning I'm going to wake up, instead of $5, I get $15, $20. Who was I fooling? Tooth fairy doesn't exist. God does exist. 7 billion people in the world, they believe God exists. And all those 7 billion people, they're very well aware that Hashem chose the Jewish people to be His nation. You know, it's funny, if you go to a church and you ask them, who are the chosen people? Not to brag about it. You shouldn't walk around, hey, we're chosen. No. I'm explaining something. You have a very big responsibility as a Jew. People always looking at you. We move differently, you don't think so? We think differently, we dress differently, we act differently. We have a lot of guts. Give a round of applause for my friend Mr. Ben, please. Please, Mr. Ben, I love you. I love Mr. Ben. You know, I met this guy Ben recently. He's a Cohen. I'll tell you one thing. You know how I know that Judaism is not some scam? The truth? I don't know too many Kohanim, but the Kohanim that I know, they're very real. You can tell their quality. And they say you can tell when it's aftermarket or not aftermarket. Ben, you're a good person. I appreciate knowing you. I hope there's more people like you honest in this place. Now, towards the end of the class, I was going to give an opportunity for some questions. Before we get to the questions, I want to talk to you about something that really bothers me. You know, we go to restaurants, majority of the time we have a yishmor or a wedding, and we like to talk to the waiters as if they're nobody. Hey you, bring me a fork, yo, bring me a shot glass, yo. You gotta respect each other. These people look at you. Imagine I'm sitting with a yarmulke and I disrespected my waiter. He's gonna go to the kitchen, he's gonna be like, huh, see this Jewish guy? They're all the same. That's how it works. It's called Kiddush Hashem. That's what Jewish people are. People will see you, you don't act right, they're going to point fingers at everybody. Whatever happened on one way street, there was a fight. They said Baharian kid. Now they think all the Baharian kids are the same. They don't know the real story. They didn't know that he was an angel. He was a good kid. Why? The representation. A few kids messed up his name, and they were looking for who? Anybody who's Baharian. Why? Because representation. Kiddush Hashem. A special Kiddush Hashem for women. It's very important for the girls nowadays that are growing up. You have some self-respect. Respect yourselves. You want respect from guys, respect yourselves. Remember, no guy, unless he wants to marry you, wants anything good for you. Remember that. I say it to anybody. I have 3 sisters. If their intentions are not to marry, see, some people tell me, I'm 15 years old, we're dating. You're dating? Yeah? Tell me more. Tell me more. 15 years old. He's going to pay your bills, this guy, this 15-year-old? He's going to come sit with your father and drink shots? He's going to give you a child. He's going to take care of you. No. Women have to focus on what's important. You should thank God every day that you guys are Jewish. Shh. Every day you guys should thank God that you're Jewish, especially a Jewish woman. A Jewish woman holds herself on a plateau. It's very important for you guys to understand that. Nobody's going to respect you if you don't respect yourselves. I make this class co-ed on purpose. You know why? Because I want somebody to introduce themselves to each other here. I'd rather you guys date each other than date people outside of our community. It's important. It's important for you guys to understand that what we're doing here is trying to raise unity. I know some of the people over here, they think, yo, listen, I don't want to hear this all the time. Divrei Torah, Shabbat, Shabbat. I'm not telling you about Shabbat. You ain't playing me, you're not fooling me, you're only hurting yourselves. You know, I went to Miami 2 days ago. Accidentally. I booked the flight because it was $100. I was very stressed out. I said, I gotta go to Miami right now. I don't want to stay here for New Year's. I don't celebrate New Year's. So I get on this flight and I start promoting tonight's class. And then I'm like, wait, tonight's class is tomorrow. And I'm in Miami. So what I had to do, I had to book a flight last minute. So you know why I went to Miami? I kind of found out. To hug my father. It cost me $700 to hug my father. But I told this to my friend the other day. He goes like, I would give $1 million to hug my father right now. My father's no longer here. Did I say thank you? Best believe I said thank you. Yes, I lost $700, but I said thank you. And even when I told that person, he goes like, dude, you don't understand, you're a lucky man. We don't understand the stuff that we have. We take it for granted. I decided to remove the music. It was a little noisy in here. Before I sing the next song, I want to tell you exactly what I used to do when I was younger. There's this little fiasco going on, teen nights. Who knows what these teen nights are? Teen bash. Teen bash. Oh, my man. I'm going to talk to you after this. Teen bash. So I used to go to these teen bashes a lot. And I remember at night, and this is a true story, I'm telling you this is the truth. At night I used to go there, we used to go there like 50, 60 people, Bahari kids. We used to start so much trouble, it was scary. It was scary. We used to go there as if we paid the bills there. Telling people what to do, why are you looking at me? And I remember one thing, at night my mom used to wait for me. 2, 3 in the morning. 2, 3 in the morning my mom's waiting for me. She would sit up, I came home, she'd be like, I'll be home. I'm like, yeah. Then she would go to sleep. But at night I used to walk. And I'll be honest with you, I was scared. 15, 14 years old, I'm walking alone, it's 4 in the morning. God knows what could happen. Somebody could come stab me, try to rob me. You know what I used to do? It's the true story. I used to say any prayer that I possibly knew. Little did I know, it's something called Hitbodedut, personal prayer. A lot of people, they say, Rabbi, I don't know how to read Hebrew. I can't read. Sorry, I can't pray. What do you think? God is one-dimensional? He doesn't understand it. You say, God, please help me out. I really need your help. I'm struggling. I can't pass my tests. I can't find myself. You think he's not going to hear you? I want everybody in this place right now to take upon themselves tomorrow to talk to Hashem for 10 minutes a day. Talk to yourself. People are going to think you're retarded. They're going to be walking around. People on the plane thought I was retarded today. I was talking to God for an hour. They're like, sir, are you okay? I'm like, are you okay? Are you okay? I'm fine. I'm talking to Hashem. What are you doing? And I look at them like they're weird. And then one person, he knew what I was doing. So he's like, did he answer you? I'm like, I hope so, you know? I've been talking for an hour, but it helps. 10 minutes a day. If it was 10 minutes. Close your eyes, talk to Hashem. You put on tefillin. I know we do the quick Shema Yisrael. Once we do Shema, talk to Hashem for 10 minutes. My friend Jacob knows. In my barbershop, there's a lot of people that come in. If I find out they're Jewish, I kind of get out of them somehow. Like, hey, what's going on? Where are you from? How you doing? Are you Jewish? You put on tefillin? Yeah?
You used to do that to me every single time I can't walk.
Well, you know the truth. And what did I tell you to do when you prayed?
You used to tell me to go and focus on yourself. Just talk to God.
Just talk to Hashem.
It doesn't matter what you say. Just talk to God.
100%. And believe it or not, I had the weirdest people come to my store. You'd never believe they're Jewish in your life. I had a guy come from Somalia. He was teaching me Torah. I'm looking at this guy like he had 10 heads. He goes like, yeah, Abraham, Yitzhak, Yaakov, you don't know? I'm like, no, do you know? My name is Abraham. You know, so what I want to tell you from this class, please, take upon yourselves 10 minutes of התבודדות. It's powerful. Cry. Crying is great. Don't let nobody tell you. Don't think you're less macho if you cry. Believe me, I'm very macho. Very. Before, I used to be a very dangerous person. Right now, I enjoy crying and praying. I truthfully enjoy it. Why? Because I actually feel it. I know that Hashem listens to me. What do you think he's going to watch his son, his creation cry? He's not going to answer him? What are we talking about here? What are you saying? It's Hashem. So, this next track, I wrote it a long time ago. Since the class is called Thank God. This track is called Thank God. Bear with me. That's definitely not it.
Really? I thought the melody is going to
Definitely not. That was great. Once again, we're hip-hop friendly. I'm very happy about the people that came today. I'm actually very excited. No, 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 no. One day I'm sitting at the doctor. Truth is my paintings and made its way to my chakra. We the doctor judge, but nobody in life can stop us. Life after death is something that we've forgotten. When it comes to faith, everybody has an option. Believe it, you believe it, your soul is up from adoption. Media is poison, filling your mouth with toxins. Look up to the sky, pray to God, there is no option to nonsense. But that's the way I feel. Don't lose who you are for temporary appeal. Don't let it be too late when you see what life reveals. Don't let it be too late when you find out God is real. World change you, it gets a little hard, believe me, I don't blame you, just stay you, don't let this money tame you, never lose your faith, remember that God made you. Now here's a little story about me, and I'm a young Jewish brother from the NYC, and I'ma share with you a story that you wouldn't believe, other than G.O.D. say no more, no more, no more.
Ladies and gentlemen, round of applause. Thank you. I appreciate you. Give a round of applause for my guy, Mr. Yago. This is a special person. Now, before we end this class, I want to give an opportunity for people to ask some questions. Hopefully, I can answer them. If not, I can at least point you in the right direction. So feel free to ask me anything, something bothering you, because you don't want to ask me here, you can ask me in private. I prefer if you ask me here. Because the way I'm feeling, I'm going to give you my honest opinion. Not too many people can give you that. So once again, Melo Yaakov, thank God. Can we say that again? All right.
Questions, please. Yes, ma'am. Why do we have pride? Because we don't know any better. If you understood how pride pushes people away from you, I'll tell you one thing, the majority of problems, the majority of war in the world, it happens because of pride. You know why? Because it's my opinion over his. Who are you? I know better than you. A smart man walks away from a fight. He's not like me. A smart person avoids violence. A smart person says, you know what, you're right, I apologize. If you think that you're right, The more you listen to this, the more you think you know, the more you know that you didn't know anything. The more you think you know, the more you find out you didn't know anything. Does that help? Next.
A smart person also realizes his mistakes.
100%.
So if you know that, it makes you smart as well.
I agree with that. Jacob said a smart person realizes his mistakes. And I'll tell you how you know. You know when you're doing something wrong or you hurt somebody's feelings? You know what you're doing. You know you just hurt this girl or this guy's feelings. You know what you're doing. Appreciate you. Next question. Great. This is amazing. No questions. Amazing. I got a question for you guys. How many of you promised me that you're going to start talking to Hashem tomorrow? Can I get a raise of hands? Honestly. I appreciate you guys. Once again, my name is Avi Benjamin. Thank you so much for coming to support this class. I appreciate you guys. Next week, I have a special guest coming in 2 weeks. It's not a class you want to miss. Bring your friends. Like I said, this is a non-denominational, no group. It doesn't matter who you are, Jewish, not Jewish. Come through, you'll enjoy it. Once again, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Guys, if you don't mind, guys and girls, I'd like to take a group picture. If everybody can come over here with me, I really appreciate it sincerely.
I am alive and I thank God. I got family, thank God. Everything's alright, thank God, thank God, thank God.
Guys.
Everybody, once again, thank you so much for coming. Smile to the camera. Whoever's praying with us, please do not leave.